We spend so much of our lives searching for love, but what if we've been looking in all the wrong places? Today, we're going to explore a pretty radical idea, a kind of love that doesn't need a person or a goal or even a belief to exist, a love that simply is. So let's just jump right in with a pretty huge question, right? What if the love we're all searching for isn't something we get from someone else? What if it's actually the very space our lives unfold in, that silent background that holds absolutely everything? It's a really powerful idea, so let's unpack that.
Okay, so to really get our heads around this new way of seeing things, we gotta start with what we know. And what most of us know is that familiar, sometimes painful cycle of love. The chasing and all too often the losing.
I mean, just think about it for a second. Our love, it's almost always for something, isn't it? It's directed at a person, or we love that feeling of a big achievement, or we cling to a belief that makes us feel safe. Our love gets completely tangled up with these external objects.
But right there, that's the big problem. Because those objects of our love, well, they don't last. People change, they leave. Achievements, they fade into the background. Beliefs can crack under pressure. And when those things go, we feel like love itself has just packed its bags and left with them. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, this really nails it. We make this one crucial mistake. We think the object is the source. We confuse the cup with the water inside it. So, of course, when the cup breaks, we think the water is gone forever. We believe that without our beloved, the love itself just dies. But what if that's not the whole story? What if that's a huge misunderstanding? This is where things start to shift. Let's look at another possibility. A love that actually remains. A love that's still there, even when everything we thought we loved is gone. And that brings us to this central idea, objectless love. Now, this is a really key distinction. It's not love as a verb. It's not something we do to something else. It's more like the feeling of existence itself. You know that quiet, spacious warmth that's just there? The one that holds everything, the good and the bad? That's what we're talking about. Okay, looking at them side by side like this makes it super clear. On one hand, you've got conditional love. That's the one we all know. It's shaky, it's fragile, it depends on something out there. But on the other hand, you have objectless love. This one is permanent, it's whole, it's independent, it's the very ground you're standing on, and it's there even when there's no one else in the room. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds a little out there, a little new agey. But here's the thing, it's not new at all. This idea, it's ancient. It's a truth that you find whispered in wisdom traditions all over the world. And seriously, you see it everywhere when you start looking. Christian mystics talk about a love of God that's beyond any image or form. In Advaita Vedanta, they call it Ananda, which is just this built-in bliss of the self. Zen Buddhism points to the heart mind that embraces everything without exception. And the Sufis, their whole journey is about realizing the beloved was you all along. Different words, different paths, all pointing to the exact same thing. So what's the one thing they all agree on? It's this huge shift in how we see it all. Love isn't something you do. It's not something you go out and get. It's what you are. It's your very nature. Okay, that's a pretty abstract idea, right? Love is what you are. So how do we make that real? Well, there's this fantastic ancient metaphor from the Upanishads that just makes it all click. It's all about breaking a pot. It all starts with this one simple line. The self is like space. Just let that sink in for a second. Imagine your true nature. Who you really are deep down isn't a solid thing. Imagine it's more like the endless open sky. So here's how the story goes. You have a clay pot, and it looks like it's holding its own little chunk of space inside, right? But what happens when the pot shatters? Does that little pocket of space spill out or vanish? No, of course not. It just merges back into the vast space that was all around it the entire time. The pot was just a temporary little wall. And in this story, the people, the achievements, the things we love, they're the pots. Love itself, that's the space. It was never contained to begin with. Now, hearing that might trigger a little bit of fear. It's natural. Wait a minute. If I let go of my attachment to the pots, my people, my goals, am I just left with nothing? Just some cold, empty void? And the answer, thankfully, is a huge, resounding no. I mean, that's the real fear, isn't it? If I buy into this, am I going to become some kind of cold, detached robot? Am I going to stop caring about the people in my life? That's a scary thought. But the truth is actually the complete opposite. This isn't about being loveless, it's about your love becoming boundless. It's love that's finally free from preference, from needing this and not that. It's not the absence of feeling, oh no. It's feeling everything, but without the chains. It's the difference between a love that says, I need you to survive, and a love that just joyfully says, wow, I see you. All right, so if this love is so great, where do we find it? How do we get it? And this brings us to the final and honestly the most mind-blowing part. The secret is you don't find it, you don't attain it, you just recognize it. So all those practices, meditation, self-inquiry, things like that, they're not about manufacturing this love. You're not building it from scratch. They're just tools to help quiet all the noise in our heads, to help us loosen our death grip on all those pots, so we can finally notice the love that's been right here the whole time, just buried under everything else. And it all comes down to this one absolutely wild idea. The love that you are so desperately searching for out there, in another person, in an accomplishment, it is the exact same awareness that's doing the searching. The seeker is the sought. They're the same thing. And what's so cool is that this leads to this beautiful paradox. The second you stop demanding that the world give you love, you're suddenly free to love the world fully and completely. People feel so much more comfortable around you because you're not secretly trying to get something from them. You can just appreciate a beautiful sunset without needing to capture it or own it. And really, that's the whole point. That's the big takeaway. The frantic, lifelong search for love is over. The moment you realize you were looking for something that was never, ever lost. It's not something you find. It's what you are. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. What would change for you? I mean, right now, in this moment, if you just stopped searching, if you just took a breath and rested in the idea that maybe, just maybe, you already are the very love you've been looking for all this time.